Yo, everybody, what is going on? This girl here, Simply T Doubly Poetry, and we are finally at the end of the Summit 2021 Minority Veterans of America. Does it? Again, did you have fun? Did you get those points on a leaderboard? Did you get to see the showcase? Did you rack up the 19 hours of content that was provided for you by over 70 guests? Did you get any of that? It's okay. If you're registered, it'll still be on so you can see it later. Super excited to have seen all of you, and y'all were so engaging. I loved each and every moment. The panelists were so amazing. I got a chance to talk to some of them, engage with you all, network with you all, and it has just been such an absolute blast. 2 days of content creation by some prestigious people, some notable speakers, and just some great advocates. And I'm super, super humbled and honored to even be a part of it and be able to talk to you all about it. And I have to bring up to the screen somebody who helped this thing become possible, the visionary themselves. You all, please welcome to the screen, Lindsay Church. What's going on?
What up, T? I cannot believe it's the end of the summit already. Thank you so much for being our lovely host and really just keeping that energy alive and well through the MBA team. So
take it away, Lindsay.
I will. And if I can figure out how to use the polls on this, which I've never used them before, I'm going to ask you all to be a little bit engaged in this one because I know y'all have been patient and, being super engaged in the whole process of sending your Q&A, dropping your comments, just being a major part of this and really bringing that hype. Over 19 hours of content over 2 days, y'all have continued to show up. So let me see if I can figure out how to use these in a second, but I don't know about you all, but I had a chance to attend almost every session. They are now, yesterday's sessions are now live. You can get a chance to look at them. I was particularly moved by the minority vets in public policy, and holy hell did the justice involved veterans hit me hard this morning. This afternoon, the Indigenous Veterans panel, just wow, just like bringing all of the content together and, seeing the wealth of knowledge that our community has, it's really inspiring. I was talking on the entrepreneurship panel this morning morning, what is time anymore? That our community doesn't often have mentors. I said it then and I'll say it again. What is time? But it's that we're at the beginning of the generation that has the opportunity to thrive. What you're seeing today are a generation of leaders that are ready to take the helm of this community and really take it forward. And it's really inspiring to see how many people in our community are really ready to lead and take that next step towards building a better community for all of us. So one, just thank you all for coming in and just sharing this time with us. This weekend has really been a time for us to gather, a time for a community to come together and really just, we can't rebuild that environment of being in person, but we could do everything that we can to make this time valuable, connecting, grounding, and validating in our experiences, in everything that we're, talking to each other. This afternoon, I got a chance to finally figure out how to use a video feature on this platform, which, the end of day 2 is a really good time for that. But I did get to sit in and chat with, about 6 or 7 members of MBA and really just getting a chance to meet you all. And, we don't get a chance to do that in person, but finding ways like this is one of my favorite things in a virtual environment. Because while I don't, enjoy virtual environments as much as I do in person, this is the safest thing for our community, and our community has been hit hard by the pandemic. So everything that we can do, we're going to do to keep everybody safe and allow everybody the opportunity to be a part of something and ensure that COVID doesn't spread through our communities any more than it already has. So thank you for entertaining us and joining this virtual platform. And thank you for coming on a weekend. I know for some, this isn't the most convenient time. But for much of our community, opportunity to be a part of something like that isn't necessarily possible. So, hosting this on the weekend was really important to us because much of our community has to work during the week, doesn't have time to get to take time off of work to be able to be a part of this. So just thank you for taking your weekends and really just digging in with us on some of these topics. The next thing is Summit's a conversation. It's one that continues well beyond this weekend. So we had incredible conversations across the board on all of these topics that could very well be their own conference altogether. And so right now, what we've done this weekend is just kick off the conversations and looking into a future where we have deeper, more meaningful and impactful conversations about these topics. We just barely began to pull the thread on some of these conversations that were only 45 minutes. Like, you can only do so much with 45 minutes. So this is only the beginning of all of that. We will, one, we'll be back, but two, continue the conversation from here. Get in your community, get involved, and be a part of the conversation and building that dialogue. I can assure you that the two things: one, the work ahead is going to be really challenging. Everything that we've done to build this movement, everything that we've done to build MBA and change the conversation and change the narrative has not come easy. And I can guarantee you that the work ahead will also not be easy. But the one thing that I will tell you is that I can almost guarantee you that it'll be worth it. Even if it's hard, even if we push against walls, even if we, sometimes feel like Sisyphus with a rock that just keeps rolling down, it will be worth it, because what we're building is a brighter future, not just for us. And, it is for us to be able to experience joy, but it's really about ensuring that the next generation has everything that they need to succeed, and to ensure that we don't have the same experiences in the next generation, that they're dealing with, different issues and challenges, and they're not having to deal and inherit our problems. So, yes, it's going to be hard, but it also will be worth it when we change the system for good. As we leave here, there's a couple things I want you to start thinking about. So to the minority, I have two messages here. One, this is to the minority veterans. Whether you're members of the minority veteran community and you haven't quite come in yet, if you are a minority veteran, I need you to know that you are not alone. This community belongs to you. This community is all about you. It's built by you, with you, and with you in mind. And the last is, we are the ones that we've been waiting for. I heard Willis Gordon earlier this weekend talk about, the generations of old, where we're waiting for somebody to swoop in and really save us. Like, we are what we have been waiting for. Our community has everything that we need to succeed and empower the next generation, to empower our communities to succeed today. We are the ones that we've been waiting for, and we will not wait anymore. And so what I want you to understand about MBA is that our community, our organization, is here to empower you to lead, and it's empowered you to foster that belonging and to be your home base as you take the show on the road, as you take this to the challenges ahead, as you go back into your communities. MBA is your home base, the place that you belong, the place that you can bring your whole self. We are not a perfect community, but we are trying very hard. Bring your whole self to leadership, bring your whole self to this community, and know that MBA is your home. We often call ourselves a family, and I mean that in the least toxic way, because oftentimes I think we can say that family is, like never calling anybody out, or never really being challenging each other. But that's actually the opposite of the family that we're building. We're building a family that you can lean on when you need support, and that you can lovingly call out and work together to find better solutions so that we can stay a community. So I, talk to any MBA leaders. You will literally find that we have built what we want our families to be, and what we want our community to be. So just know that this is your home. This is where you belong. To those that serve the community, to those who want to be allies to the minority veteran community, I just want to say thank you for taking this first step. Being here today, being here this weekend is really hard. It's challenging. It challenges you deep to your core. Like, some of these conversations are really hard, but you all did it. You stuck with it, and you dug in, and you were a part of this, and you witnessed some absolute brilliance. I hope you are leaving here in the same way that I am, which is on fire for the work and on fire for this community that we're building. The work is challenging, like I said, even for people that have been doing this work for a minute. And you've taken that first step, and just continuing to lead with intention and understanding and listening and giving people that opportunity for agency. You are doing that by being here. So thank you for being a part of this. All right, so if I can figure out how to do polls, which I don't know that I can, I'm really going to try. I put set up a poll. It's called Kickoff Question, and I'm going to launch it. So one, I'm going to launch this question here, and I want to hear, how did you enjoy the EIJ Summit? And you're only going to have about a minute to answer, maybe 2 minutes. I did my best to make as snarky as answers as possible because it is Sunday night and I, need a little bit of fun in my life. All right, so I'm going to give you all till 4:57 if you're on the East Coast, 1:57 if you're in the West Coast, and if you're somewhere in the middle, I don't know your time zones, I'm sorry. You've got about 60 seconds. I'm encouraged. All right, so I am going to give you 1 more minute. Oh, T's a little mad because she's a panelist and can't play along. Boop, boop, boop. Sorry. Boop, boop, boop. This is like that moment where I should have music, but I don't because I didn't think that far in advance. So here we are. All right, so I'm encouraged to see that most of you all thought this was the best conference ever and that you had a blast. Hopefully nobody is walking away, but it could have been better. If you do believe that it could be better and you want to tell us how we could make it better, my door is always open, so is our team. So I do want you to know that this conference is for you. It's about you, and if you didn't like it, it's okay. We will always strive to do better. So that's my first question. All right, now that I've figured out the polls, we're going to try this one more time. Now, the next question for you all is, how do I stop sharing that and go to the next question? All right, so what was your favorite part of Summit? Did I not? Okay, there we go. I'm starting to see answers. I was like, uh-oh, did I not figure out how to do this correctly? As you all can probably tell, I'm not that good with awkward silences. So I'm just over here trying to fill the space. But I do love all of the comment threads coming through. So just keep that coming because it's making me feel good. All right, so I'm seeing that some folks love the epic panels, which 100% did. All of the amazing speakers, Summit was designed to be a conversation and not just us talking at you the whole time, because you could get that anywhere. So love that you all are really leading with the epic panels, because that's our community in action. That's every one of us leading and being a part of the conversation. I'm sure there are a number of you that were here last year and you showed up this year as speakers, because we see you, we hear you, we want you to be a part of this, and we want you to see yourself reflected in leadership and ultimately to become the leaders of this community. Opportunities to connect with others. That was awesome, being able to chat with you all in the chat rooms, and being able to see some of the comments in the different sessions. Connection to resources and employers, the dope prizes, and learning more about the minority vet community. So I'm gonna share those with you and I'm gonna keep going. All right, so this summit is just one of the examples of who MBA is. Our community, there were a few of our leaders that you're gonna get a chance to meet here in a minute that we were just on here saying, wow, we're gonna start planning next year, which we probably won't for a bit, but there was a whole supply drop tour that happened between last year's summit and this year's summit. And in that supply drop tour, we did 6 months, and we did a 6-month tour that hit 6 cities in 6 months. We distributed 23 tons of food during those 6 months, and that was our very first try ever. We host a series of programs. We do a lot of connection with community. We've hosted storytelling hours. We do as many possible things as we can to make sure that the community has a voice and to make sure the community has the vital resources that you need to survive right now. The pandemic, especially over the last 2 years, have been a whirlwind, what is time, but also it's been hard, but we've found each other through it. MBA has been one of my favorite things to do in my whole life. And I think I'll probably say that for the rest of my life, but that this community has really found a way to get involved and be a part of each other's lives and be a part of the solution for each other. And so that's just a little tiny part of snippets of who we are. And my staff is over here reminding me that I'm stealing their thunder because they're going to be over here talking in a minute. But some things that I'm looking forward to when we look at our future. So March of next year, if you like what you saw at Summit, if you love the MBA community and you want to do more, March of next year is going to be our 3rd cohort of our Emerging Leaders program, and it's going to be here in Richmond, Virginia. I'm going to bring you all to my home and show you a little bit about what I've learned over the last 2 years of living here. Our application will start probably in December, so be on the lookout for more information about MBA's Emerging Leaders program. This is a program that's near and dear to my heart. My staff hates when I say that this is my favorite program, but it really is, because we are a leadership development community. We are looking to, I can't do this forever. I won't do this forever, because it's important to me that we are educating the next generation of leaders to be ready to take this community, because I'll be honest, been leading this community for the last 5 years. It's exhausting. We've been ramming our head against a wall. And I made the Iliad reference about Sisyphus because I had never bought it, but it really was meant to be a little statue sitting right there of me holding of Sisyphus, because our community is tired. We've been pushing against this wall, and it's starting to give. And this community also needs fresh blood, needs new leaders that are ready to take the helm of this community and move it forward. Brigitte, you've been in this, Brigitte dropping a comment in here that says, yes, development of the next generation of leaders it's everything. And Brigitte was one of the first people to start doing that. And now it's, we keep moving this ball forward. We keep moving these generations forward. That is the dream of emerging leaders. If you want to be on that train and you want to be a part of the next generation of leaders, I encourage you to be a part of that program. I cannot wait to meet who the next, cohort of these folks are, because the 2 cohorts we've done so far, man, they are outstanding leaders, and they are the folks that are taking this mission and moving it forward, and will be the next generation of folks that we continue to see to take this leadership and move it forward. All right, so I'm going to ask you a fun question. So we are going to do Summit 2022. There's no if and or but. We are going to do it next year, and I want to know if we have any control over it and we are able to do it, we will be doing it in person. And I want to know, where do y'all want to see it? So you all have a minute to fill out, where do you want to see MVA Summit 2022? Quick answer is for DC, San Antonio, Seattle. Seattle's over here trying real hard to push it. I see you, Seattle and DC. We'll see a lot of Seattle and DC. You're neck and neck. A couple more people who haven't voted. I see it, Ashley. I see you. I see you looking for that DC action. Ooh, who's gonna win? All right. Well, I'm not gonna release the secret yet because I don't have the answer yet, but I will. And DC and San Antonio or Seattle, you really seem to be taking it and ready to go. I'm going to share the results with y'all. All right, so what does the road ahead look like? Our future, MBA's future, is focused on 3 things. The first is programmatic support. Now, programmatic support is near and dear and the most important thing of what we do, because it serves the here and now. It is all about providing those critical resources, meeting the emerging needs, being as reflexive and responsive as to the community's needs as possible. We saw that in COVID, that our community needed to be ready at the drop of a hat to address some of these emergent needs. We also saw it in the middle of COVID with the same thing around George Floyd, Vanessa Guillen, and Breonna Taylor. Our community needs to be as reflexive and responsive and able to really meet that programmatic needs of our community as deeply and as quickly as possible. So we will continue to see MBA's programs be responsive and trying to meet those emergent needs and better understand how we can do that. So if you ever see surveys from us, please respond to them. They help us build our next programs. They help us build the services. They help us know is it food insecurity? Is it transportation insecurity? Is it employment security? Where do we need to be focusing our efforts to make sure that our community is not just in survival mode, but that we're actually having the opportunities to thrive? We're also going to be focused on policy change, because guess what? We can provide all of the programmatic resources in the world. And if we don't fix the system that continues to make it so that those resources are scarce, or that our community is having negative outcomes, it's not going to matter what we do today. We have to be focused on the here and now and the long term, so that policy change, which takes 3, 5, 10 years, is getting implemented in the same effort that we're doing our programmatic efforts. So policy is the long-term game. It is, Brigitte, you're pointing, man, I just need you up here with my energy. Policy is the long term. It's how we fix outcomes so that the next generation are dealing with different issues and different challenges, as opposed to dealing with the same thing that we've already encountered. So it's about, taking the long range goals as well as the short range goals and making them matter, making them match. so that we're doing two things at once, but that we're trying to ensure that we don't have to do this one thing forever, but that we get to do new things and we get to learn new things about our community. And then the last is really focusing and hitting hard on that community. Our community is our home. It's a place that we belong. It's that place that I hit up, earlier about. This community is where you bring your whole self to and you get a chance to lead. You need a place in the world where you can be fully yourself and know that your community will show up with you. That's what we're building here. And so you need a home base. If you're going to go out and change the world, you need a place to put one foot down on and know that you're okay when you're, I used to play sports, and so softball was my sport. And if you're going to steal a base, like, you want one foot on that base so you're safe, but you also want one foot stepped out so that you're ready to go. And so how do we do that? That's through having one foot planted firmly in the community that is your safe hold, and that's your stronghold, and that's where you get your strength and your energy. That is what we're building so that you can take that step and know that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. And last, before I turn this over to the real stars of the show, I want to say the goal of our movement is to create equal access to opportunity and equal access to the experiencing joy. We're not just here to fight for, pittances anymore. We're not just here to fight for tiny things. We are here to fight for our community's ability to experience joy. We all deserve that. We all deserve that opportunity to feel what it feels to earn the things that we have fought for so desperately and so hard for. And so it's time for our community to not just survive, but to thrive. All right, and I'm sure you can tell I could sit up here and talk about this for hours, but I'm not going to bore you with that. And it's Sunday night, so I'm going to turn it over to some of the coolest folks that I know and some folks that I am honored to call colleagues. The first one I'm going to welcome up is Crystal Ellington. Crystal is the second newest member of our staff. She is our communications director, and she is going to talk a little bit about what it means to change the narrative and what it means to move that storytelling framework forward. So Crystal, it's over to you. You're muted.
Every single time. Everyone, my name is Crystal Ellington. Thank you so much for that introduction, Lindsay. I don't know about you guys, but I have enjoyed this summit so much. I've been super pumped hearing all of the wonderful panels and speakers and all of the thought provokers and movers and shakers in our community. So from the bottom of my heart and from everyone here at MVA, thank you guys so much. Hopefully Summit 2021 has given some insight into how minority vets, as well as our sponsors, partners, and other veteran service organizations, how we're all changing the narrative of the American veteran. As many panels have exemplified, opening dialogue surrounding these topics is really integral in moving toward the future. So sharing a little bit about my own story and how I got started with MVA, I joined at a time where I felt alienated and ostracized from my military community, and finding a movement like MVA literally saved my life. In communicating with my family in arms who have served and sacrificed for their country, and understanding that my problems were not specific to me alone, I began to see that this movement was way bigger than I imagined it to be. A lot of people may ask, like, why is changing the narrative of the American veteran important? So many non-minority veterans argue that margins within the armed forces only exist because we create them, and that's just simply not true. So listening to and engaging in the panels from this year's summit, like race bias in the case for reparations for Black veterans, and also gender as a framework for military and veteran identity, to say our work is important is an understatement. The impact of changing the narrative ranges from ensuring underrepresented vets have that access to accurate representation to directly addressing and influencing policy and systemic change, which Lindsay touched on previously. So at MVA, we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge all the veteran service organizations, activists, and influencers, many of which you've seen during Summit, that all have boots on the ground who have invested their blood, sweat, tears, and most importantly, their time into providing a platform and space for those who have historically been unheard and unseen, and that's speaking from experience. So sincerely, we hope that this year's Equity, Inclusion, and Justice Summit has given you all some insight as to why changing the narrative is important and how integral we all are in leading the way and sharing our vision. See you guys next year.
Thanks, Crystal. So up next, you're going to have another one of my favorite staff members, Melissa Margain from Seattle. Melissa is our Seattle program director, and I am having troubles pinning people. There we go. Melissa is our Seattle program director and has been on our staff for almost 2 years at this point, and really does an absolutely incredible job of leading up some of the major efforts that we have out in our Seattle area. So Melissa, over to you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you both Lindsay and Crystal for such kind words. Hi to everybody in the chat. So like Lindsay stated, I'm the Seattle program director, and Seattle has a people-to-people program, which takes a holistic approach in meeting the veteran where they are. We do that in many ways, but I want to highlight just 3 really quick: social engagement, financial stability, and systems access, right? So from nurturing current relationships to building new connections that speak to these topics. And with the ever-changing pandemic landscape and having to shift service delivery, we've been able to connect on a completely different level, which I'm excited about. When it comes to social engagement, from outdoor challenges and events, in Seattle specifically, we launched a boxing affinity class for local vets down at Cappies, to promote physical and mental health, right, and reconnecting. A lot of vets miss that camaraderie, and so we've tried to figure out ways to get everybody connected in a safe space. In regards to financial stability, providing direct financial support at the height of the pandemic, I think we were able to serve over 315 families, $60,000+ just to get folks where they were. A lot of transportation, housing, and food insecurity we saw, especially here in the Seattle-King County area, in regards to service access, testifying to over 40 bills, really highlighting barriers that minority vets are having when trying to access those systems. I like to say that equity is being invited to the party, but inclusion is being asked to dance. And so if you know anything about Team Seattle, like, we'll see you on the dance floor. You know what I mean? Like, we really want this to be a safe space where everybody feels like they can come, show up their whole selves, regardless of what that looks like. But yeah, so much. In February of this year, we launched a Women Veterans Food Pantry to again support those experiencing food insecurity. You're able to shop the pantry multiple times a year for free. However, we do also offer workshops that cater to financial literacy, financial stability in an effort to move you towards self-sufficiency. So there are a lot of programs that do help in the here and now, and then a more long-term approach. So yes, I'm looking for volunteers. Yes, I'm looking to expand. Yes, I'm looking for creative minds to not only bring new ideas to the local community, but challenge my own perspectives as a leader. So reach out to me, come to some of our supply drops, come help us feed women vets from our food pantry. And I just look forward to seeing everybody very soon. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. Up next, you have another one of my favorite staff members. Just joined the team last month, I believe. Was it last month? What is time? I'm running into what
September.
is time. Ashley Carrathers joined our team as the operations director just last month and has been killing it and instrumental in making sure that our summit all together came together.
Thanks so much, Lindsay. It's awesome to be a part of this amazing team, and the work that we do is just incredible. It's one thing that turned me on. A lot of folks have messaged me during the summit and said, I've seen you somewhere. I've seen you like with another organization. I was like, yeah, I was with another organization, but the work that they weren't doing wasn't as meaningful as the work that NVA does. So our chapters are literally our heartbeat and what keeps us going. This is where we find out what the community needs. We do this by finding folks within that community that are motivated, ready to go, ready to serve, right? So we are very methodical in the choosing of our locations, and we want to get into that community and actually learn what's going on there, what's not going on there, what's needed, right? So we need folks to come together and help us understand that. So that's kind of the brain work that goes behind when we do choose these locations. We hold events that are meaningful to that location specifically, and what is actually going to help and benefit our members there. That can be a hiking event, food insecurity themed, healing arts, coffee meetups, neighborhood cleanups, and just you can imagine the laundry list is insane. And I'm always in awe by our chapter leaders and how creative and devoted that they are to really learning, listening, and leaning in to figure out what ways we can assist, how can we get involved and serve these communities best. So shout out to our chapter leaders. I love you all so much. You're amazing. Keep up the good work. 2022 is just going to be huge. It's going to be another growing year for us, and we're going to be adding 3 new cities. So I'm sure you're wondering what these cities are. So we're at Summit, so we might as well just say it, right? Let's just say it. So we're going to come to Chicago, Los Angeles, and San Antonio. So buckle up, get ready, because it's going to be huge. All right. This past year, we visited 6 cities in 6 months to address food insecurity. And we learned a lot along the way. And next year, we want to do it bigger. We want to ensure that we're addressing even more and bringing the community together to actually help out our members in an all-encompassing way. So, together we figure we can change the world, and this is just the beginning. And so we helped 300 veteran families last year. Next year, it's going to be even more. We can't do this work without you, our members, without you, our chapter leaders. If there's any way that you want to get involved, reach out to me, and just remember, your community is waiting.
That's the mute button. Damn the mute button. Oh, Ashley's over here, just letting out state secrets, but so excited and cannot wait to launch our chapters next year. And thank you, Ashley, for everything you did. You said you got Keyshawn's over here committing us to 9 cities over 9 months. Holy, it's going to be a big year. All right. Up next, we have our actual newest staff member, Erwin Sines. Erwin joins us as our new development director. And has been instrumental in some of the coolest stuff we've been working on recently. So I might get out of the way and let you share a little bit about what you're doing.
I'm not the favorite yet, but everyone else should watch out. So I've always wanted to be on Shark Tank, and so I'm gonna do this like a Shark Tank pitch. So bear with me as I do a little bit of improv, but know that it's my way of presenting this in a way that is a little bit more exciting. So Summit attendees, I have an opportunity for you to invest in MBA. And so this weekend, you saw how MBA is committed to providing innovative, thoughtful, and excellent programs to the communities we serve. And I also want to thank the folks who sponsored and who were partners to us throughout this process. And they allowed us to present this summit at no cost and with the lowest barriers possible to everyone that was able to attend. Amazon, Seed, Cresco Labs, REI, Comcast, Johnson & Johnson, Go Digital Hero. We're all in this work together, and MBA is excited to continue this partnership. And so I want to give a shout out to Melissa, Ashley, Crystal, LC, our board members, volunteers, panelists. You're all leaders in the community. And now I invite you folks who are watching to be a part of the team. And some of you respond to numbers, right? Some of the sharks respond to numbers, and you heard tons of numbers. You heard 23 tons of foods. You heard 6 cities. You heard new chapters. You heard close to 700 summit attendees. You heard 19 hours of panels. But what we can't put a value on is countless leader impact that you as leaders will have in the community. And so what I have for you to invest is a number. And that number is 11. And 11, if any of you are into like magic numbers or like numerology, you see a lot of 11 out there. And that's because that means like, oh, it's not a coincidence, it's not a chance. And that's true for you today. It's not a coincidence or a chance that you're in this room and heard the words that you heard this weekend, because you're meant to be here. And when I say, this is Shark Tank, and I'm not promising that MBA is the next Squatty Potty, but I can tell you that your donation will help us continue to create belonging and continue to advance equity among our populations. And so I'm going to drop a link, I'm going to drop a number in the chat. Please, if you're able to, invest $100 or $11 into MBA this weekend. But what I would also really appreciate is if you tell a friend about our efforts to raise funds to support our programming and our work. So thank you.
Thanks, Erwin. Appreciate that. And welcome to the team. All right, so I'm going to close this out with the moment that you have all been waiting for. So one, summer was a blast. We hope this is just the beginning of your time and your journey with MBA. So a couple ways you can get involved. One, if you haven't already done it, join as a member. You can go to minorityvets.org and you can find the join form. Get involved as a volunteer. I don't know if I have the link readily available, but it's on the website. So minorityvets.org, become a volunteer. Volunteers are the lifeblood of our organization and our movement. There's a reason why I call it a movement and not an organization, because it's our people investing their time, their efforts, and their talents to empower each other and to really lift each other up. And so volunteers are the future of our community. Come out to more of our programs. Summit's just one of them. Like I said, emerging leaders, a lot of you are already interested. Keep an eye on your inboxes. We will be sending that information out. Come out to a supply drop, help us lead at a supply drop. And the last is just leading in your own communities. We're not going to have MBA chapters in every single location. I don't know if you watch my entrepreneurship talk, it tells you exactly why. We had 12 chapters when we started, but we only have two at the beginning, or only had two at the end of that. We will not have chapters in every location, but you can put an MBA shirt on and you can go out and make a difference in your community. So don't think that you have to have a chapter in your area to lead. You need yourself. We'll send you a t-shirt, we'll get you a t-shirt, whatever that looks like, but don't think that you have to have a chapter in an MBA location in your area to do what you do what we do. Reach out. We will find ways for you to get involved, whether it's virtually or in person, but really you have the ability to lead in your own communities and serve as that example in the places that you live in and reside in most. I want to put a plug in for thank you. So first and foremost, at least 24 members of the MBA team were involved in building the stream. That's just involved directly. That's not including all of the folks, the board members, the people that came together, that showed up for a session or two or whatnot. This 24 members are actively involved in building the stream. I want to shout out a few that were pivotal. So Melinda McMillan, Ashley Carrathers, Crystal Ellington, Jason Nunez, T. White, y'all were instrumental in making sure that this all came together. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking this idea and turning it into what you all saw this weekend. To the staff, you all put in more time and work harder than anybody I know, and you have to work for me, which is, take that for what it is, but y'all are the most amazing human beings I've ever met. And so thank you for all that you do. To the speakers who showed up and shared your brilliance with the world, like you all made this summit what it was. 72 speakers, 73 speakers brought this to life and helped you understand the depth and the breadth of the issues and the challenges that our community faces. To the board members who took time out, many of our board members served as moderators, despite the fact that they are the leaders of our community. They took time out of their weekends and have really, Layla Ireland showed up in the middle of the night multiple times because she lives in Korea. Our board members are the most dedicated folks that are really digging in to try to make sure that this community has what it needs. And to the sponsors, we literally could not make this happen without the folks that helped us to support this financially. This program is offered to you at zero cost to yourself because we are able to bring in people that help to support us financially. So Amazon, Cresco, Go Digital Hero, Comcast, I'm forgetting people. Oh, am I forgetting? Johnson & Johnson, REI, all of these folks really helped us to, one, have these epic prizes, but two, be able to put it together on this really amazing platform. So thank you to our sponsors, to the folks that really helped us build this. And now for real, the moment you all have all been waiting for, the prizes. All right. So I'm going to give you the prizes and then T is going to close you out and we are going to put this summit to bed for this year, but only for this year. All right, so seventh prize of $100 Uber Eats gift cards. And I apologize if I mispronounce anybody's name, but I will do my best. Brianna Bergstrand, you have won a $100 Uber Eats gift card. Congratulations, Brianna. Thank you for being here. Sixth prize, and y'all, I'm not gonna lie, like I've never seen so many people chasing prizes so much in my whole life. Y'all were dropping comments on chat boards, going over to booths, doing all of the things. Y'all were dedicated. All right, so sixth prize, $100 REI gift pack. That goes to Derek Young. Derek, are you in here? We'll get a hold of you, don't worry. All right, so the MVA gear pack goes to one of my favorites, Angela Wagner. You're gonna get more MVA gear. Are you excited? I think you're on here. I'm pretty sure you're on here. All right, fourth prize, a $250 Amazon gift card. What are you gonna buy? Joy Cochran, what are you gonna buy with that Amazon gift card? All right, third prize, getting into the top. Third prize goes to a $250 REI gift gear pack goes to Marina Rabbinic. Marina, you are the prize winner of our $250 REI gift pack. And the $500 REI gift pack goes to Tanya Hill. Are you going camping this summer? Or this winter? That would be interesting, but you do you, boo boo. First prize goes to Joey Mesa. And I'm pretty sure I pronounced that wrongly, but Joey, you are the most engaged person on this entire platform. I do not know how you got 8,500 points, but congratulations, because the prize is yours. All right, so that's all I have. That's all it is. I'm going to turn it back to T, who is your real hype person and has been the personality for this whole thing. Thank goodness we have her. Thank you, T. Take us out, close us out for real, for real. But you're on mute. You're still on mute. T, you're on mute.
I'm over here just dying laughing because I'm like, Lindsay, you make my life so much easier. You hype me up to be hyped for everyone. So I appreciate you so much. And yes, this concludes the MVA EIJ 2021 Summit. You all, those prizes were absolutely amazing. Congratulations to all the winners, the most engaging. Y'all did such a great job cracking up those points on the leaderboard. I didn't even know you could get those many points. I fell way short, apparently. But I'm super excited that you all really made an effort to get those things completed and really just engage, because that's really what it boils down to. And like everybody said, all our leaders, you all get involved in what MVA has going on, because it is not an organization. It is definitely a movement. So go to minorityvets.org, get involved. If you have registered, continue to look and go back and see the different panels that you guys missed, or go back and get those resources, take notes, and really make a difference in your community. It's like Lindsay said, all you need is a t-shirt and a voice, and you can move mountains. And that's exactly what we do right here in Miami Vets of America. We are excited that you came. We can't wait to see you boots on ground doing the things that we need done in this community, intersectionality across the board, transcending all types of communities. We look forward to seeing you at our next event, whatever you're at, whatever you're doing. And of course, we'll be back for MVA Summit 2022 next year. But until then, you all, we appreciate your time and can't wait to see you at the next thing. So let's get to it. Y'all know what to do. It's your girl, Simply T Doubly Poetry. Get at me. Let go.